All right, welcome to the Game Ready podcast. This is Coach Ernest Allen. I'm here with Dr. Cori Rodriguez and Karla Martinez. They are of the Like a Virgin IV therapy clinic here in Orlando, Florida. I'm new to the whole IV therapy clinic world. And, I have my girlfriend, she lives and swears by it. So I want to learn a little bit more about it. And a lot of my clients, I try to encourage them to do it, even though I haven't do it because I just got over my fear of needles. So my biggest thing is to educate people on the whole process. And I'll let Dr. Cori take it over.
Awesome. So a little bit about my background. I grew up in Washington State, and Mount Rainier was my playground. So, I got to go after school and look for waterfalls and stuff like that. So I was very, very fortunate. And then I moved down here to Florida and started my career in both the Army and in chiropractic. And I love both. Chiropractic really opened my eyes to the body's ability to be able to heal if you just give it a little help. Sometimes our bodies get overwhelmed and it just needs a little push or a little help to get it back on the right track. But I started that career, and part of the reason why I started chiropractic is because I had migraines like you wouldn't believe. And I had acne, adult onset acne, like huge scars all through here. The big cystic acne. They wanted to put me on Accutane. And I don't know if you know anything about Accutane, but it's really bad stuff for the body.
It's horrible.
Yes. And I absolutely refused, even though I was embarrassed about the acne and stuff like that. And that whole journey of the migraines and the acne, and part of the reason why I was getting the acne is because my hormones were messed up, and no one knew really what to do except to put me on medication. And I wasn't going to do that because most of the medication that I had read about had such horrible side effects that I was like, there's just no way I want to do this. So I suffered for years with that cystic acne and hormone imbalances and the migraines and stuff like that, until I went into chiropractic because a friend of mine said, hey, why don't you try chiropractic? And I was like, okay, I might as well. And so over a period of years, my migraines became a little bit less. Come to find out, I had some issues with my neck. And I know now when my neck is going out, I can feel it, and I can feel that migraine coming on. So I know now to get to the chiropractors, another chiropractor who can adjust me and kind of get me back on track. The acne was a different story because the acne was actually a chemical problem in my body. It's hormonal. And so on that journey to find out about what was going on with my body and why was I having these problems, I started learning a lot about chemistry and about body chemistry, biochemistry. And so in that trying to figure out what was going on with me, I learned so much more than I was expecting to learn. And so it's just continued this thirst for knowledge and this thirst for why is the body acting like this? Why does the body do this? Why am I feeling like this? Put me on this whole journey of biochemistry and nutrition and how it affects the body, and what is my gut doing, and what are my hormones, and what are my neurotransmitters doing, and why am I feeling sad today and happy? Those type of things were questions that I was asking myself. And what are other people going through? How are other people feeling? If I'm feeling like this and I know biochemistry, what are other people feeling, and what are the questions they have, and are they getting their questions answered and stuff like that? So recognizing people as individuals. You can't throw every one thing. It's not a one size fit all. Some people may need more B's to help with stress levels and things like that. Some people may need more C's, or, and people don't realize how vitamins really affect their bodies. So this whole journey has been eye-opening. And the more I learn, the more questions I have, and the more I dig for those answers.
That is huge. Yeah, yeah. I'm diving a little bit more into nutrition also, and it's amazing how those supplemental nutrients play such a huge role in just in the balance of the body on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And,
Well, and I think part of it is because like delving into the nutrition part, I don't think people realize how important nutrition is,
exactly.
how important those supplements are.
Mhm.
Like most people don't know that your feel-good hormones, your serotonin receptors, dopamine are mostly in your gut
Yes,
rather than your brain. Most
exactly.
people don't know that. That's why, like for instance, when people are on their menses, women are on their period,
Mhm.
they get emotional, but when they eat something,
It
it
clears.
makes them happier,
Yes.
like chocolate and things like
Yeah.
that. Well, there's reasons behind that.
Uh-huh.
So I'm always wondering why. Why
Mhm.
is something happening?
Oh yeah.
And that was like you said, nutrition plays such an important role.
It's huge. That's one of the hardest parts in dealing in my industry is
Mhm.
getting people to understand the connection between the nutrition and their wellness. And it's
Mhm.
bigger than just people think of wellness as something like it's like some like slow term, like like you just you're like you're meditating. No, your wellness is just your ability to just live on a daily best basis with a higher quality of life.
Yes.
And you want to have every advantage to get the most out of every day. So
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. And I think that people don't understand that nutrition doesn't have to taste bad.
No, it doesn't.
No,
It
well,
does.
it's one of the things I hear all the time is like, well, am I gonna have to eat nothing but vegetables? No, it's a combination of protein and complex carbs and things like that that help your body. You don't have to totally cut out. Like if you want a piece of cake,
Mhm.
okay, you can have it.
Yeah,
Not every day and 3 times a day,
exactly.
you
Exactly.
know?
It's not a treat anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It
Yeah.
becomes a way of life.
Yeah, yeah. And which is not good. Just like if you were to eat a steak every day, it becomes a way of life, and that will eventually catch up with you. There's
Exactly.
no
And I think
balance.
that if people can understand that nutrition isn't something that is like you have to develop taste for certain things. Like some people say, well, I don't like vegetables. Well, have you tried them steamed? Have you
Yeah.
tried them, baked
Mhm.
with some garlic salt on them or
Yeah.
something like that? Things like that. Try different things to make them more palatable to you.
Mhm.
And trust me, eventually your taste buds will adapt to it and your body will go, oh, I really want that now.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes. I can attest to that just on in my personal life. I sometimes I would get a taste for salmon. Salmon,
Oh,
oh yes, salmon with a little olive oil and some vegetables. It
yes,
would be literally like I can actually taste it. And I
yes,
would crave it. So yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, your mouth almost waters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's interesting because like remember the study that they did on Pavlov's dogs?
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, ma'am.
Well, think about it. You
Hmm.
can ring a bell and a dog will start to salivate,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Well, think about a human being. Whatever they see, whatever they feel, whatever they touch, all those things are bringing about chemical reactions, millions of chemical reactions
Exactly.
on a second by second basis. And most
Hmm.
people don't get that.
Hmm.
It's so I think it's when you talk about wellness, well, really, what is wellness? It's a whole host of things.
Yes, it is.
It's
Yeah.
not just one little thing. It's a whole host of things, how you're feeling mentally, emotionally,
Hmm.
physically, all those things. And what are you doing to help those things be better or
Exactly.
get better?
Yes, exactly. And you guys, I follow you on Instagram, and then I saw the whole, the way you guys post things. It's so cool. And I was seriously, I mean, I like the Like a Virgin name, and then we're gonna cover how'd you even come up with that name because it's so catchy that
Yeah.
you start hearing the song when
when you
when you when you hear it, when I see the Instagram post, that song comes in my head. I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable.
it
But
sticks.
it sticks, and it's a great marketing tool. So just tell me about the history of how did you get into IV therapy? What exactly was that?
Well, I've always wanted to go into nutrition, some type of nutrition and I did for a while help work with diabetics and stuff like that.
Oh, yes.
To help them, their bodies process things better, become, so that they can eat foods on a regular basis and stuff like that. So I worked a lot with that. But it was more like I knew that chemically I needed to do something chemically. So I got into more IV therapy because I was like, okay, this is the nutrition is a part, what you eat every day, but there's other parts. And if I can chemically influence the body, and I can help them feel better, then they'll be able to go out and exercise. They'll be able to go to work. They'll be able to do this. And so that it was a nutrition thing, but then it slid slowly into a chemistry thing where I was like, okay, well, how can I deliver something that's more impactful than doing it orally? Because we all know that when you eat something, or like when you ingest a vitamin, you're only getting 30%, maybe 40%.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Yeah.
And if you're lucky, and that's if, you look at the vitamins and they come from a reputable manufacturer, if your body is absorbing them right, because that's a whole nother host of questions and answers. Things that you need to answer is, hey, if I'm getting this vitamin, is my genetics going to predisposition me to not be able to absorb it in the amount that I'm going to need to absorb it at?
Yes.
So when you can bypass the gut lining and give nutrition through an IV, you're getting 100%.
And that's my girlfriend. She's in the medical field, and that's her whole selling point of why she even does it.
Yeah.
That's the whole, you go direct to the actual, it's direct absorption.
Yes.
And that's huge. All right. I want to talk to Karla. So Karla, Doctor,
come here.
If you don't mind. So
every time she talks, I'm always like,
I know. I mean, if you look at it, to my listeners, if you go on their website, on the Like a Virgin IV therapy website, and you actually see the interest that the doctor is interested in, like quantum physics, it's very, when you see someone who's interested in that, they look at the whole aspect of everything. They look at the big picture of everything, and then they look at the details of how everything's connected. So that thirst for knowledge alone, is a selling point for me to come into the clinic. So yeah, I mean, that's a huge. I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to that type of stuff.
Oh, I love that stuff.
So, it's huge. So Karla, tell me, what's your role in the company, and you've been the main point of contact. So
well, I'm I guess you can say, the CFO of the financial department.
There it is.
And the marketing, like I'm the one that always posting on Instagram and the website, the ideas. So it's an awesome team, because she's the brains, and then I get everything she tells me, and I'm like, okay, let's do it like this, and let's do it like that. And
it's well put together.
Yes, it's and we love, I've always been in the medical field since years. I have a background with an MA, phlebotomist, so I've always been around it. I'm also a certified professional coder. So my whole years have been around the medical field.
Wow.
So yes, and we love what we do. I love to see when we have patients that have actually had COVID, right? That had the
That was, just as an aside, we had a patient who drove from Jacksonville, and they had one of it was a husband and wife, and she had COVID, and she couldn't walk. She had no energy whatsoever. In fact, he had to carry her from the shower to get her dressed, to get her into the car, to get her down here.
Wow.
And she just had no energy. She felt like a truck had hit her. And, I kept encouraging, come on down and we'll help you out. And she came in, she got her IV, and she walked 4 blocks right afterwards down to a restaurant to have a meal.
Wow.
So it's very
Wow.
rewarding.
Yeah.
And Karla loves, both of us love seeing things like
seeing
that.
like when
course.
feeling like that, that's when like, wow, it's all worth it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
'Cause
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
that it's a cure, but
No.
it's helping you, you know, because we
Your
need to,
body.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
helps you get back that energy and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I mean, we get it ourselves.
We love it.
Exactly. I'm gonna try it, you know, and I believe it's gonna help, and actually it's gonna help me actually convince a lot of my clients to actually try it. And it's you know, I like the fact that you guys are really vested in the actual healing of the people. Because there's no magic bullet. You want to actually have something consistent that you can apply to your everyday life that helps you, you know, live a full life. And
Yeah.
that's the bottom line.
Yeah, and I think that that's the problem nowadays is everybody wants a magic pill.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to pop because my life is so busy. I want a magic pill. But here's the thing that I've always thought. You either take time for your health now or you're going to pay a lot for it later.
Exactly. Invest in your health.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that as you age, that you should be this broken down, I don't feel good, I hate life, type of person. I think that there's a graceful way to age.
Of course.
And I think through nutrition and IV therapy and things like that, it would be, you know, it helps the body to age better. So that you're not this broken down person.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, and I know Karla's familiar with this too, because her family has it too. And that is my family suffers a lot. The rest of my family, my sister, my mother, my father, my grandparents and stuff, all of them had either diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, you name rheumatoid arthritis, IBS, and all that stuff. And I was like, this can't be the way life is supposed to be.
Exactly.
This is not the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly. And then you look at it from a behavioral change. The hardest part about teaching people how to take care of themselves is attacking the behavior that's causing them to actually want to just accept the fact that they're, you know, their back hurts, or they have a hard time just walking, or even just thinking and processing things. People learn to accept that. It's not, you don't have to accept it. And half the time, like we covered earlier, you know, when we were talking, when we first started talking, your nutrition and the absence of vital vitamins and minerals can help balance that out. But it just takes consistency, and it takes consistent effort just trying to change that behavior. Your body can go for 10 days without food.
Yes.
It can only survive maybe 3 to 5 days without liquid nourishment.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's really interesting because it is habits. You learn to break old habits and establish new. But what people I don't think they see is that type of behavior takes time. You're not going to just wake up one day and go, there are people who can do that. There are people who can break a bad habit and establish one anew very fast. But that's not the general population out there. Most of them, it takes time for them to do something like that. And part of, you know, the thing is we get impatient with ourselves. Oh, well, I messed up. So if I messed up today, I'm going to mess up tomorrow, instead of going, okay, I messed up. Let me fix it and then move on.
Yeah. And
patient with the results.
Yes.
Exactly.
With the results.
Even when people work out, they want to see, oh, I haven't lost 1 pound.
I know.
You know, it's all a combination. Nutrition and working out. It's a combination.
It's a combination. And what I do, I am a behavioral. At the bottom line, the fundamental thing, what I do, I change people's behavior. And if I'm lucky enough to actually reach a person and change that behavior, it's about it makes everything worthwhile. Yes. And that's one of the hardest things to actually do, is to change somebody's behavior. I can help you lose 30 pounds. I can beat you to death. I can come in, I can have you in the gym, and you know, over a 6-week period, we can drop 5 to like 8 pounds. Over like a 6-month period, we can drop 20 pounds. But if we don't change your behavior and how you view physical activity, it doesn't matter what we do.
Yes.
And that's the
Yes.
that's the selling point. And that's, you know, you try to just fight the good fight.
Exactly.
Every day. Yeah.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
just you're always going to have certain people who are not going to
Oh yeah.
want to do that. But then you have a ton of people who do, they
Yeah.
want to change their life and they want
Yeah.
to change how they feel and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So they're willing to go that little extra mile to help themselves.
Exactly. So, you know, what exactly is the mission of your clinic? What is the mission to help the Central Florida community and really the community in general worldwide? What is your mission?
Well, our mission is basically to educate people
Oh,
about
good.
how intravenous vitamin therapy can really work. We are also in a little while going to be getting into things like stem cells and PRP and stuff. And I don't know if you're familiar with those.
I'm very familiar with those.
Yeah,
Yes.
I tore both my shoulders and had them fixed with PRP and never had to have surgery.
Wow.
And this one, the right shoulder, I couldn't even move.
Wow.
So it's, you know, I think that we're leaning more towards that type of medicine, if you want to call it that, to help people. So we're looking at, you know, PRP, stem cells. I don't know if you've heard of exosomes, but there's exosomes out there. There's amniotic fluid. There's a ton of different things that you can use to actually help the body repair itself. It's not that that's doing it, it's that it's helping the body to do that.
Exactly. Adding things that help.
That help, exactly.
That help, because they're, you know, the body will repair itself, but as we age and as we get older, it just needs a little bit more help. You know, I'm you know, I'm a true believer in that. And I wrote an ebook about how to just manage pain. And basically all it does is give you just a basic template. And I use my own experiences on how to do that, to where you don't have to totally depend on anti-inflammatories. You look at your nutrition first, you look at your movement second, and then depending on the time you have to actually be physically active, you may want to add anti-inflammatories in. And then as I learn more about IV therapy, that will all, seriously, I mean, I'm being honest, the biggest thing that I've noticed, you know, from in my relationship is that when she gets an IV infusion, everything changes. Life is good. You know, she's a runner, so she'll go and run. Literally, she can really run like 4 or 5 miles, and then go do some other stuff. And if you know, she really gets a big boost out of it, and it's really, you know, it's intriguing to me to see that.
Yeah, remember that you're, you know, and also a lot of times people, and this is a thing with vitamins, is I don't think people understand your omega-3, 6, 9 fatty acids, they're anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
But you have to take them in enough of amount to help fight that inflammation. Exactly. So when people take a vitamin, they go, you know, recommended dose. Okay, the recommended dose is 2 pills a day. Well, depending on what you're taking, also depending on your situation, that may change.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
So like B vitamins, your complex B vitamins help fight stress. So when you're under a lot of stress, you're going to take a little bit more B vitamins and then back off of them. And a lot of people don't understand that. Vitamin C, the literature is out there that talks about high levels of vitamin C can actually act as an anti-inflammatory. So there's a lot of things we can do on a daily basis just to help ourselves.
And there's different things for IV, like you said, she's a runner. We have people that we know with COVID, the viruses. We also have people, bariatric patients, because a bariatric patient can, you know, they have to take this medication for life. And it becomes difficult for them to swallow it in a pill way. So this is ideal for them. So I believe I see IV therapy, it has a little bit for everyone.
It does. I'm excited to try it. You know, once I get the really, you know, I just said I conquered my fear of a needle. Needles, I have to get the gumption to actually look at them. so I mean, I'm excited to just that it, you know, that this industry is growing, and it's actually it's actually helping people learn to, to include those vitamins rather than just in pill form. Because if you take them in pill form, just like you said, you don't absorb, you're lucky if you absorb maybe 20% of them.
Mhm.
And there has to be such a good balance, such a great balance within the gut and
Right.
within your actual body for you to be able to absorb some of those vitamins.
And that's a thing too, because we're all under stress. Let's face it. Our lives on a daily basis are under stress. Well, when people put out cortisol, it slows down the absorption from the intestine.
Yes, it does.
So the body isn't going to absorb as much, even from your foods that you're eating when you're under a lot of stress. So you have to compensate some way in order to get the body what it needs.
Exactly. As far as timing, what would be the best time to get an IV there? Would it be morning, evening, afternoon when you're able to get it, or what's the best time?
I think it just depends. Well, you don't want to usually you don't want to have bees really late at night. Okay. Because they're going to hype you up.
Yes.
Especially B12.
Oh, yes.
They're going to hype you up and then you won't be able to go to sleep. Although B6 is used in that glutamate in the brain that calms the brain down.
Yes.
So I wouldn't advise somebody to go and just get a whole thing of bees late at night. I would advise you to get that in the morning, early afternoons, maybe even early evenings, so that the body has a time to absorb it, use it, and then kind of like store anything that it needs to store. Although remember that your B vitamins are water soluble.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think it just depends on the person. So we've had people come in who are getting ready for a marathon and they want what we call our athlete rescue, which contains all your amino acids, your B's, your C's, and all that other stuff. So it just depends on what's going on with that person and what they're trying to achieve.
Exactly. Well, so you said you have an athlete therapy treatment. I try to tell my athletes that I train to actually start hydrating 72 hours before competition.
Yes.
When would you suggest someone get an IV therapy treatment before competition?
I would say couple hours before.
Oh, wow.
And you could do it, because we've had some kickboxers come in here that are on the circuit and stuff that. And I remember one of them was doing his weigh-in. So he couldn't get an IV then, but right when he got done with his weigh-in, because he was going to be competing within the next few hours, he came in and got IV therapy.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, it just depends on your schedule and when you feel like it's going to be right for you. But usually when you're going to compete, you want those B vitamins and amino acid to push your energy levels up.
So one of the main ingredients that I've seen and over the last several years, and it kind of was a big push for IV therapy to become as big as it is the supplementation of glutathione.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Love
Tell us about exactly. It's like everybody has their opinion. I've been told it's like the fountain of youth. It's like the miracle nutrient, or if you want to say the miracle supplement. So tell us about glutathione.
Okay. Glutathione is one of my favorite. I love glutathione. Okay. There's literature out there that talks about how they've used a nebulizer with glutathione to help people with COPD.
Oh, wow.
One of the reasons why is because you have a huge amount of glutathione in your lungs. Why? Because it's an antioxidant. So it scavenges free radicals. Well, when you breathe in oxygen every second of every day, you create free radicals as that oxygen is broken down. So glutathione goes in and grabs that radical so that it can't bounce around and cause cell damage.
Wow. Okay.
And it's the same thing throughout. There's literature out there again that talks about when we age, that there's a huge decrease in glutathione on a cell basis. And they've noticed this as not a trend, but they've noticed this, this fact or this information over a period of time. So they've been researching glutathione for a long, long time. It's nothing that's new or anything like that. I think it's just beginning to be new to the public.
Yes.
And
yes,
it
is.
Yeah. And that is that it is a great antioxidant. It works well if you're having issues with your lungs and stuff like that, depending on what the lung issue is. We had one guy who had COVID, and he kept coughing. It was months later, and he kept coughing and coughing and coughing. So I said, hey, why don't you try this? You know, there's no contraindications in your health history or anything like that to say, no, you can't do it. I was like, so go ahead and try it. He tried it one time, and within 2 days, his cough was gone.
Wow. Holy
So
cow.
is it anecdotal? Maybe, but there is research out there that talks about helping with COPD, talking about how glutathione decreases with aging and how glutathione works and why it works of scavenging free radicals and stuff like that. Because remember that free radicals can also attack the DNA.
Yes, exactly.
So we're talking about DNA now, glutathione helps stop that from happening.
Exactly.
Okay. Because it scavenges those free radicals.
Exactly. When you say it attacks the DNA, so you can actually have a issue with free radicals actually changing the actual coding of your DNA.
Of course.
Wow.
So nutrition is the same way.
Yes.
Remember that. Okay, so let's take an autoimmune disease. Okay, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Rheumatoid, you name it.
Yeah.
Okay, all your autoimmune diseases, almost all of them come with one thing, an inflammatory process.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There's so much literature out there talking about the chemistry of what happens in an inflammatory process. And part of that is like, let's say somebody's continually stressed out, or it can take one time of being stressed out and it triggers. Okay. Cortisol can actually affect your DNA. And that's what they're thinking turns on the DNA to begin with, is that inflammatory process. Because when you're under stress, you're putting out inflammatory molecules. When you're thinking bad, you're putting out bad chemicals. Okay. It's all a chemical reaction.
Yes.
So what cortisol does is and the inflammatory process does, they've actually got the loci on the DNA that shows where some of those inflammatory processes actually attack the DNA and alter it. Wow. Because remember, like a lot of your inflammatory processes, those autoimmune diseases don't happen when you're 60. They start happening when you're in your 20s, when you're in your 50s. I read an article the other day that childhood trauma can actually trigger an autoimmune disease later on in life.
Yes, I can believe it.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
It's amazing when you start really researching this stuff and reading different articles, peer-reviewed articles talking about this, how fascinating it becomes. But here's the whole thing. If your body can alter your chemistry, you alter it chemically, okay, it's something going on with the inflammatory process. Why in the heck can't you reverse that chemical process?
Exactly. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Why do I need a medication to do that? Why couldn't I if my body's all chemistry like carbon and your B's and your amino acids and stuff like that, why don't I just give it more of that to help fight the inflammatory process?
Exactly.
Then actually, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't, a lot of it doesn't make sense the other side.
It makes no sense. And when I played professional sports, one of the main things was anti-inflammatories were a part of the whole process. And basically, NSAIDs, anything that actually inhibits any inflammatory process. Right. The inflammatory process is not a bad thing. It's just a large amount of the inflammatory process where your body just gets used to that inflammatory process and it just becomes a part of the natural function of your body. That's when things go haywire. Right. Yes. And and you try not to limit it too much, but you don't want it to just stay there. Yeah. Correct.
Correct. You need to derail that inflammatory process. And, like you said, inflammation is good to a point. It helps your body to heal.
Yes, it does.
Cells that come in as a result of the inflammation. But uncontrolled inflammation, like you get with rheumatoid arthritis and all these other things, that's not a good thing. The
No, it's
body
not.
can't handle it.
Exactly. It's too much of a good thing, and
Right.
and your body will tend to break down.
Right.
What would be one of the main services that you guys would use to actually combat, these issues,
The inflammatory
with their,
process. Well, one of them is education.
Okay.
So when I talk to somebody and they come in and they're like, I have this problem going on and I know it's an inflammatory process or something like that.
Mhm.
I always educate them on, here's some things you can do at home. Okay. But then you have, like I said, you have huge amounts of C. We
Big
had, and just as an aside, we had a lady come in who was getting 25 grams of vitamin C. And in order to get that many grams of vitamin C, you have to go through what they call a G6 PD deficiency test. Because there is a certain group of people, when they have that G6 PD deficiency gene, will actually cause the blood to what they call lyse. Okay, so it'll split the blood cell apart.
Holy cow.
Okay, and so you can't get that high of a dose unless you already have that G6 PD deficiency test in your bag and can show it to us.
Yeah.
But she was coming in because she had been told by her doctor, who was in Texas, that if she had 25 grams of vitamin C for a period of time, that it would reduce her rheumatoid factor. And she says that she wasn't even able to walk before she saw him.
Wow.
And now she's walking up and down steps. She's managing her life. So, and there is literature out there that will back up the fact that vitamin C can act as an anti-inflammatory.
Oh yes. I've read that over the last several years about vitamin C. Everybody thinks it's just for colds, but vitamin C has
Yeah. They just put vitamin C in an orange.
Yeah, exactly. And strawberries have more vitamin C than oranges do. So So
it's about educating. I think the main thing is educating, and that's where a lot of people lack of, education and reading, and that's why we like, Doc likes to do videos, and we have a YouTube that we like to post. So educate, because it's not about come get an IV and spend how much. No, it's about educate yourself so you know what you're putting yourself in your body.
And then you can take care of yourself at home too, because here's the thing. I love people, love my patients, love my client, whatever you want to call them. I love them all. But I don't want to see you in my office for the next 25 years complaining of the same things.
Exactly.
So if I can give you the tools to help yourself, then that's what I want to do. That was one of my whole reasons for being getting into this, was because of that, is because I want to give people that level of education that they can take care of this. So let's say they wake up, so they wake up in the morning, they go, man, I'm not feeling that good. And they go, okay, I know in my closet, I have this vitamin, this vitamin, this vitamin, this vitamin. I know I can take those. It'll kind of like get me over that edge. It'll make me feel a little better. I'll have enough energy to, I won't be yelling at the kids. I'll have enough energy to play with them and engage with them and engage with people. It's all about educating people to help them.
It is. And that's taking care of everyone and taking care of the people around you. That should be a goal of everyone.
Yeah.
To be honest, because everybody who's involved in some sort of service like your company and my company, you got into it to help people and actually educate people on just how to improve their quality of life. Because you want to have a good quality of life. You want to be able to live without any limitations. If you want to go on a hike, you can go for a hike. If you want to, if you want to go run a marathon, you should be able to go run a marathon without thinking, oh man, I may not want to do that because my knees hurt, or I want to do that because I don't want to feel like trash afterwards. You should be able to go want to do that, because that physical activity adds years to your life and improves the quality of life. So
yes, and you're happier. And then and the other thing I always tell people is, disconnect.
Yes.
Disconnect from the phone, disconnect from your computer. Because remember, I always tell people, remember, everything you see, everything you smell, everything you touch, everything that touches you, all that stuff causes a chemical reaction. So if I'm continuously watching something drama, well, guess what's going to happen to my neurotransmitters in my brain?
Yeah, you're going to be nuts.
You know, see what I'm saying? Like, why do I want to surround myself with that stuff when I know that it's negatively affecting me, and that's going to last for years?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
The long-term effects of that kind of trauma and in like, you know, self-abuse, if you want to call that.
Yeah.
People don't understand that, you know, it will not help you, you know.
Correct.
Stress is not a bad thing. Stress isn't a total bad thing. Stress actually helps motivate and helps you actually see things in a different light. But too much stress will change your metabolic, your molecular structure.
Yes.
You know, it may awaken something that you don't want to experience. So okay, so you guys offer several different services. Say when I come in there, what should I expect when I come into Like a Virgin IV therapy clinic?
You gotta handle that.
Yeah, there you go. That's why we got Karla.
Well, if you don't know which IV you want, of course, you'll speak to Doc. Free consultations. We offer completely free consultations to tell you which one will be the best fit for you. And then we have our certified registered nurse who will obviously, triage you, take your vitals and make sure your blood pressure and everything is good to go. And then we'll get the IV going, and then you'll be in our reclining chairs. You can either watch TV, we'll put the music, dim the lights, or have the scene. We're right in front of the Lake Ivanhoe.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, right in front of Lake Ivanhoe. So, and then it just depends on your body. Like sometimes an IV can take between 30 minutes, or it could take a little more. It all depends how you are dehydrated inside.
Exactly.
Outside we may look wonderful, but inside we have no clue.
Oh yeah, yeah. And my girl, she doesn't like to drink water. So she the first time she did it, she got 1,000 liters. I think it's 1,000.
Yes, that's what we
that's what we do.
Because a lot of places also offer 500, which is half.
Yeah.
So we offer actually the 1,000 ml, with the vitamins and sorry. So it's good to do research, and because I believed in it before, because personally I don't like to take vitamins, and I don't really eat, not that I eat bad, but I skip meal. Like I'm always busy, so I always forget to, oh my God, I gotta eat. So I got into this before I got here, and a lot of places don't really educate you. Like I would ask, oh, what are you putting on me? Oh, let me read the paper. Oh, I don't know. So I started getting like, whoa, because a lot of places you have to know why it's the real reason you're doing it. Are you doing it just because, oh, it's the it thing, or are you doing it because you want to help people and educate people to know why is it that you need it? Exactly. So like me, I know I need it because I'm bad at vitamins and bad at my meals. So I know I need, it helps me to keep going on my day-to-day basis.
Yeah, if you don't mind, you're not bad. That's just your lifestyle.
Yes.
That's just your lifestyle. It's not bad. It's what your lifestyle is, and you're filling in the gaps by using the IV therapy, which is a wonderful thing. So I mean, I try to use words in a way where you're not trying to, I'm going into coaching mode.
I like it. Yes.
So you don't. It's your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is like your fingerprint. It's different than somebody else. If you had a twin, your twin's lifestyle will be different than yours. So your the way you view things, it fits your lifestyle, and you found something to fill in that gap, and it actually helps you. So that's huge. That's a huge thing. So, well, if you guys have anything else to say, we got some parting words. I know you guys have busy schedules.
Well, I guess the biggest thing that I want people to understand is educate yourself. Like, don't believe just anything that somebody throws at you, especially what you see on TV or, and stuff like that. Educate yourselves, research. And if you don't have time to research, ask people who know.
Exactly.
And I understand we want to help people as much as possible to feel better about their lives and
Yes.
about their daily activities.
Yes.
So that's my biggest thing is education.
Yes. Yes.
We
Karla,
also, just the last thing, we also offer Botox and fillers.
there
It just
you go.
started.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Tell me all the services, because I did see a post that you put up where you guys do home therapy also,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we do mobile
Yes.
services.
Yes, you do mobile services. Tell us
Yes.
more about how would somebody actually get the mobile service and how you guys would actually implement that.
Well, basically, you want to go ahead now? Okay. Basically, what they do is they call in and they just tell us that they want a mobile service. They want us to come to their home.
Okay.
And we have our kit all ready to go. So we just pick it up and walk out the door and go help them out.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
It's as easy as that.
Yeah, is there like a mileage, a certain limitation within the city that you guys would go to? You know,
What is the,
We do, but again, depends, because for example, a couple Sundays ago, we had a family that lives all the way in by St. Cloud,
yes.
out of our
out of
radius.
our,
But you know, she said she had scheduled it somewhere else. They canceled her last minute. She was concerned about her parents, especially her dad that wasn't feeling well. So, you know, I said, no problem. You know what? We'll go. And we did. And she was very thankful. Great family, great people. So it's for us is more like, depending on the situation, if we can help you and, you know, accommodate it, we'll try to do our best for that.
Sweet. And you can order that, is that pretty much 7 days a week, or how, you know, how does that work?
Well, right now we're open only Thursday to Sunday.
Okay. Cool.
Right now we're only open Thursday to Sunday. So yeah, it just has to be known a little bit ahead of time so we can coordinate it with our schedule and things like that. Usually we try to do mobiles Thursday to Friday, but again, that Sunday was a situation where she was in desperate need, and we were able to accommodate it with our in-house schedule. So it worked out good for them.
right.
So you guys' clinic hours are from Thursday to Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been a great interview. I've been educated, but I need a little bit more education, and I'm going to come by there because I'm around College Park a lot. I live in College Park.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so
We also do walkings. We also take walk-ins.
Oh yeah,
So-
exactly. And a lot of the people who live around that area, they really are getting back. They're getting into it, and and you know, there's always people running and walking around Lake Ivanhoe. So it's a really active community. So you know,
I've paddleboard on Lake Ivanhoe. I love Lake Ivanhoe.
yeah. So does my girl. She does the same exact thing. She
Awesome.
loves. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's out paddleboarding. So yeah. It's a great community, and you guys are a vital part of it. And I'm glad you guys were able to come onto the podcast and help educate some people. And I'm going to have all the information for the Like a Virgin IV therapy clinic in the links in the bio. So please go visit Dr. Cori, visit Karla, check them out. It's going to, I think it's an experience nobody will regret. And I can just, my experience has been through the third person, but as soon as I get it done, I'm going to be the first one to put a post on Instagram and give you guys a shout out. So,
and we offer 15% off new patients.
there you go. 15% off new patients. Contact Dr. Cori, contact Karla, contact the Like a Virgin IV therapy clinic, and get on the road to a better lifestyle. Make sure you check out their website, their Instagram. What social media are you guys on other than Instagram?
Yes. So our website is ivhydrates.com, www.ivhydrates.com. Our Instagram is Like a Virgin Orlando, at Like a Virgin Orlando, which is the same for, on our Facebook, we do have it as IV Therapy Lounge Orlando.
Okay.
Because like with the name, how you were saying, the name is great, but we had to add a little bit of a DBA as far as, because some people had no clue,
Exactly.
Our colors are red and white.
Yes.
So yes, our colors are red and white. Like a virgin, you will be like, okay, what are you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
We do in there, the IV therapy lounge, so people know what is it that we offer.
Right.
Exactly.
Or what is it that we are?
Exactly. Are you guys on LinkedIn at all?
No, but I have we should get on LinkedIn. I think that would be a really good idea because I have a lot of people I know on there. So that would be, I haven't I haven't given her my login, so
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Oh yeah. It's just, to get, the active, business community that,
Yeah.
that are very,
Yes.
very into health and wellness. This is I believe this is a missing link that will, just help people, just try to change their behavior and bridge the gap, whatever they're missing within their nutrition and, their their macros. And I think it's a huge benefit. So,
Awesome.
we're
Thank you
gonna,
so much.
oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys. It was a pleasure. Hopefully I can have you guys back on here, and you guys we can expound on some things as far as how IV therapy can help with like joint pain, how IV therapy can help with, with just basic everyday issues that people want to deal with. Because one of the issues that a lot of people don't understand, when you're having lower, like back pain, any back pain, more than likely it is attributed to dehydration because of the actual discs. Or I'd say, like, I think it's like 80% of the disc is water based. And if you dehydrate it, those discs shrink and you have a lot increased chance of having like a herniated disc or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And possibly hydrating and using IV therapy can help remedy that. So
imagine how many people don't know that.
Exactly.
And we also have just a hydration bag.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't want, just want to get, we also offer that, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
much economical than going to a hospital and getting.
Exactly. And it makes a lot of sense, because if you're hydrated, you're well hydrated, you feel better, and you will move better.
Yes.
But
Definitely.
Hydration is the key.
yes, it is. On that note, we're gonna sign off. Thank you guys. Thank Dr. Cori.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karla. It was a pleasure. You guys live with a purpose and train with the purpose. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, you guys.